Hey guys, I'm Megan Lawrence and I am back. Like I mentioned in my first video that I will be sharing one of my personal stories with you on what it's like being adopted while I am waiting on my DNA test results. So I grew up with an all-white family. I went to an all-white school and all my friends were white. My friends used to joke with me and say that I act more white than they do. I would describe myself as a coconut. I am tan on the outside and white on the inside. So transitioning from middle school to high school is already a big deal. And I feel like it was a big deal for my class in general because we're moving into a brand new high school that was just built. We have a lot of families that were moving in, and so we were getting a whole new set of teachers, whole new set of peers, and that small tight community that we shared in our small little bubble was about to really expand. I was very shy growing up, and I didn't talk a lot, and I just kept to myself. My freshman year in high school, I was so nervous, and I just felt so out of place, and just was like, God, no one's gonna know me, no one's gonna know who I am. I'm gonna have to like reestablish myself. And so it's my first day in high school, and I'm sitting in speech class, and I'm so nervous. The teacher is going down a list of names, and as she comes to your name, you're supposed to say here. She came across this Asian name. She said it a few times, and no one answered. Finally, she kept repeating herself. Next thing I know, she's getting louder and louder, and she starts looking at me. And I remember thinking, why is she looking at me? Like, that is not my name. I am not going to say here. Thank God, someone in class finally said, that is not her name. She came across the name Meagan Lawrence, which is a very white name. I think an Irish name, so you can't get whiter than that. And I say here, and she looks at me with a deer in the headlights. I felt like I shouldn't have to explain myself to the teacher that, oh, by the way, I'm adopted, I have a white name, and my family's white. And so, you know the saying, don't judge a book by its cover? I wish I could have said that to her. Okay, fast forward 4 years, and now I'm going to college. I was really excited for college. I thought I was actually going to have a normal life, if that's even a thing. I remember thinking I'm going to be around other ethnicities, this is going to be awesome, and I'm actually going to feel somewhat normal. I was really shocked by how people saw me my freshman year in college. I was expecting a lot of white people come and ask me these questions. I was not expecting different ethnicities. I had Black people, I had Asian people come up to me, and the first question out of their mouth is, so what country are you from? And I remember thinking, country? Well, I'm from Texas, and I was born in the Philippines. And as I would continue to talk, they noticed that I spoke good English. Apparently, they thought that I was this really cool foreign exchange student, and as soon as they realized that I wasn't, the conversation would shortly end, and they would just walk away. And it just seemed like that I was not an interesting person if I wasn't a foreign exchange student. I remember thinking that's something that I would expect from a white person, but definitely not from a different ethnicity. There was nothing that I could prepare myself for that experience in college. I wouldn't even think to prepare myself for something like that. For the first time, I felt rejected by my ethnicity, and I felt rejected by who I was, and it didn't matter if I thought and saw myself as this white person. It only mattered to them who they thought I was. And because I wasn't the person who they thought I was, and I wasn't this foreign exchange student, and I didn't have this really cool accent that no one wanted or cared or showed any interest of me and who I was as a person. I remember feeling very sad and hurt, and remember thinking, just kind of in shock of like, wow, I would have never thought this would happen to me or to anyone in a million years. I remember feeling very sad, and sad for this culture, and sad for, I remember thinking, is this what this world has come to? So fast forward into the present moment, and I find myself in acting class. I remember in acting class, we were talking about getting an agent to represent ourselves and getting headshots done. So I remember when I first printed off my headshots, and I'm looking at them, and I'm just thinking, who is this Asian girl? I didn't even recognize this person that I was looking at. I was stunned at how Asian I look. And I remember saying, oh my gosh, I look so Asian. And my classmates are looking at me like, well, duh, you are Asian, aren't you? And I'm thinking, where is this white Texas girl? The blonde hair, blue eyes, that's how I see myself. I remember the first time I got an audition from my agency, and I took a look at the script, and it said that I was auditioning for the Asian girl. And I remember thinking, why am I auditioning for the Asian girl? Why am I not auditioning for the lead role or the main part or just a girl? I remember thinking how odd that was for me, and how strange it was that I'm auditioning for the Asian girl, for the Asian part, and I'll be playing the Asian girl, and it's Asian. Oh, and by the way, I'm Asian playing the Asian role. Why doesn't it just say girl, or girl 1, girl 2, or young teenager or young adult, or female role, female teenager, female adult? It made me realize the world that I was living in and the culture that I'm in was so heavily defined by ethnicities. I found myself starting to get really frustrated, and I found myself disappointed that they couldn't just look at us as humanity, that I had to be segregated into ethnicity type. So very quickly, my first year in acting class became very challenging for me. Found myself driving home every night from class in tears. I was so confused and conflicted by my identity, how I saw myself, and how the world was seeing me. For the first time, I felt like I was just confined in this box of, I'm Asian girl, I'm going to audition for the Asian part, and I am going to play the Asian part. I'm Asian, and it wasn't just me. Like, why can't I just audition as me, Meagan Lawrence, playing a female role? And having the ethnicities and the different types play into that was very challenging for me. So my journey isn't just getting to know more about my heritage, but also understanding my ethnicities and finding peace within all that, finding peace with where I'm at in this world, and embracing all of it for what it is, not having any judgment on it, not having judgment on my ethnicity, on how I view myself and how other people view me, but just be okay and just realize that it is what it is. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey, and I would love to hear any similar stories that you may have, whether you're adopted or not, in the comment section below. If you haven't yet, like this video, hit the subscribe button, and you can stay up to date with all my news. So I would like to do a quick shout out to everyone who's watching in Ireland. Thank you so much for all your support and all your comments. I really appreciate it, and I hope you continue this journey with me.